Hey everybody, this is Nick from MitigateStress.com. In this video, we're going to be releasing some knee pressure and knee pain. So if you got any knee inflammation, you're going to want to stay tuned because this is going to be a good one. We're going to be hitting the lower band right above the knee. So the lower portion of the rectus femoris right above the patellar tendon, the vastus medialis, and the lower adductor complex, as well as the outer portion, the vastus lateralis, and the IT band as well. So this whole band here, using either a barbell and or a softball if you're on the go. Either of these work perfectly fine. Barbell obviously is always going to be most time my favorite, but it's not always portable, right? So let's get started. I got my handy dandy timer here. And what I'm going to do, again, this is the band. We're hitting multiple areas. We're going to start on the mid part. So if you're using the barbell, you can hit both at the same time. If you're using the softball, you're going to hit one at a time. But you can only hit pretty much the middle portion all at once. But this is why I like the barbell, because it does save time. I'm just positioning this right above my knee, and I'm trying to weight myself as deep as I can possibly go into the barbell. You can come into a plank, that's fine. Make sure that you're breathing, you're relaxing, you're not creating any unnecessary tension. Obviously, if you're in a plank, you can start to kind of feel some tension in your shoulders. Try to avoid that. Or you can lay down all the way, stretch out, and then you just simply push your knees into the barbell or the softball. Once you've established a decent amount of depth and intensity, then you can start playing with angles and slowly performing some micro movements with the bending of your knee flexion. So as we're doing this, I'm going to tell you about our CDR routine, which is our free guide. It's our circulation, drainage, and recovery routine. It's over 3 hours of content of trigger pointing, dynamic play, corrective exercises, posture drills, and recovery tools, tips, and tricks that are basically just focusing on the heavy hitters, the things that matter the most, the things that actually create change, getting rid of what doesn't matter, or what is least important, rather. Because we only have so much time in our day. People are overwhelmed. This is why we've recently changed our entire philosophy. We really have been reworking on everything to make the best possible online programs that we can come up with, because people are hurting. People don't care about the money when it comes to buying our programs. What people care about is getting results, obviously, and that's what we're trying to establish is the most effective routine possible. And to do that, it has to be very simple and very straightforward, because we used to give a lot of information as much as we possibly can, because that's what we do. We try to overachieve and give, but it's not helping anyone. It's not doing any service if it's overwhelming people even more, if they're not even digesting the content, right? So that's our CDR routine. You're not overtraining. You're most likely under-recovering. It's a recovery routine for life, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or a pro athlete. It doesn't matter. It's for everybody. It's the foundation. You have to have it. It's going to improve your performance, your cognitive function, obviously your recovery, circulation, and drainage. All right, so we're about 3 minutes in. I'm done yapping. I'm still on the middle portion, the rectus femoris. Again, I said 5 to 10 minutes. I'm probably going to go a little bit longer for this video. So now I'm going to shift over to more my left side. If you were using just the softball, let's say we were already just doing our left side. I don't know. Again, pause the video at any time if you need to go a little bit longer, upwards of 5 to 10 minutes plus each side. I'm going to go start tilting over towards my vastus lateralis. And you might not get through the entirety of this lower portion of the quad. You may or may not, because you're going to come across some pretty gnarly hot spots along the way as you traverse this spider web of dehydrated fascia, which is right above the knee, obviously. So again, I'm right above the knee. Let me get Bob for you so you can see where I'm at. I'm gonna start doing this from now on. I'm literally right here, right? And I just went a little bit to the side. Still around the knee. Thanks, Bob. And then now what I'm doing is I found a nice intense spot. I'm going to bend, and I'm just going to keep putting as much pressure into that barbell or softball as much as I can on that spot. Trying not to tense up anywhere else. I'm trying to maintain a 7.5 to 8 out of 10 pain. And I want to stay on this spot and around the spot, like we're talking micro movements around this area until the pain subsides. Dull, deep, and achy should radiate pain outwards. When you get into a good trigger point, sometimes you can radiate through your hand, your foot. Depends where that connection point is leading to. that's when you know you were getting into some nice, deep hot spots. Because it is all about depth. The more surface level you are, the less results you'll get. As much as we love guasa, it does have its limitations. This is why you cannot replace deep tissue trigger point release. All right, I'm going to go more towards the IT band now, which is very, I guess the word would be hellish. And I'm pretty much directly on my side. Same concept with the softball. You pretty much just do that. Same thing, nothing to it. It's the same exact thing. On this IT band, the lower portion, a lot of people say that there's no point to trigger point the IT band because it's a tendon. I say that is complete nonsense because fascia runs through everything, our organs, it encapsulates everything, our tendons. So we're at the end of the day, we're still remolding that clay, whether it's a tendon or not. It doesn't matter. It's still about rehydrating rather than relieving tension as much. You are relieving tension because you're making the tissue more malleable because it has more water, like a sponge, right? We're pressing out all that dirty water and we're exchanging it with clean, nutrient-dense water. That's the concept. So I'm on my IT band, I'm doing the same thing. I'm moving my knee flexion. As I flex more, I don't want to tense, but I want to push in more because I'm stretching that IT band, and now I'm going to straighten that knee and go even deeper and just keep repeating that. Move the knee, find that hot spot, hold it, go deeper, and then extend the knee as you are going deeper and deeper. You can go side to side, small micro movements. You can even go back towards the hamstring a little bit, but I'm going to go more towards my inner portion. It's already been about 7 minutes. So now I'm on the adductor and the vastus medialis, the inner portion, right? Back to Bob. I'm on this inner portion right here, right? Same exact concept. This is actually better attacked with the softball, this spot right here, the vastus medialis and the adductor complex, the lower portion, of course. But the barbell works just fine. It's plenty. And while I'm doing this with the barbell, the cool thing is I can actually have my right quad, my rectus femoris, my middle portion of the quadricep, on the barbell at the same time. So it's kind of like two birds with one stone. If you want, you can even add this to the abdominal region. Look, you got 3 trigger points going. So the idea is, just like we want to stack habits in life as much as we can, obviously we have to be present in one thing at a time. We can't really multitask as humans effectively enough. When it comes to trigger pointing, you can stack habits when applicable, right? So you just have to have the discernment if it's taking away from your primary trigger point or if it's not. But hey, I say more power to you. You know, maybe some of these future videos I'll just shut the heck up and just trigger point with you and have like more of like a yoga atmosphere, right? Some incense going on and some peaceful music, and I don't know, got my dryer on in the background. You know, the ASMR stuff where people have those really high quality microphones. Anyways, that's been about 9 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and start on the right side. So we just did the middle portion. Let's say, again, pause the video if you need to go a little bit longer, spend more time. But this will really help your ankles, your knee. It's going to help so much. This lower portion of the quadricep is just so intense and dehydrated. So again, I'm on the right side now. I'm bending my knee. Can't really see me. There we go. And I'm going to go more towards the outer portion. That middle portion, again, the pain subsided, so I don't really need that too much right now. But again, you can always go deeper. I found the spot as I was slowly transitioning to the outer vastus lateralis, and therefore I am going to play with my knee position. I'm going to flex my knee, and then as I'm flexing my knee, it's pulling on that fascia. Therefore, I'm going to go deeper, deeper, deeper. And then this is where the hurt comes in. Slowly extend it without tensing anything up. Breathe. Your breathing is your best friend here because it's the only way you're going to not only visualize removing the stress, but physically actually remove that stress. And you want to breathe through your rib cage, expanding your rib cage like a fish with gills, right? So don't focus so much on the belly breathing as much as the lungs, which is right here, the ribs. You're going as deep as you possibly can into that trigger point. This is needed though, guys. You got to go through the pain. You have to go through the pain. I was just doing more research on myofascial release earlier, which is trigger pointing, self-myofascial release. And that pain is basically, it's dehydration. And when that clay, that fascia gets dehydrated, by the way, the fascia distributes roughly 60% of our total body's water storage throughout the entire body. So that's how important our fascia is to mold it like clay, because without it, we're going to be always dehydrated. It's just the way it is. So what I was saying is, if that fascia is dehydrated, you can imagine like clay gets very stiff, it builds knots and nodules, and therefore the nerves become very irritated. That's what creates, it puts pressure on the nerves too. It's sharp. That's why sometimes when people trigger point, they can experience some serious bruising, and also because there's just no blood flow there. There's no circulation or drainage, therefore there's no recovery. This is why we have our CDR routine. I don't know about you guys, but this is really intense. Again, I know I'm yapping here, but I'm trying to distract myself from the pain, and you guys too. So I'm on the outer portion of my quad still. I haven't really moved, and I'm just flexing my knee slowly, and then I'm going out a little bit more. I'm traversing over to the IT band, clinching and flinching and, closing your eyes and making faces. Try to just go back to your breathing and relax. Because yes, we want to stay and maintain that pain, but we want to focus on releasing that pain rather than trying to hide from it and avoid it. Because you got to go through the pain if you want to make results. This is from every professional athlete I've worked with. And this is also from every trainer that I've worked with. They all talk about that. Good trainer I've worked with. Worked with some bad ones too. I'm not going to say names. But anyways, I'm on my IT band. Same thing. I'm flexing my knee. It makes it a little bit difficult to access. Therefore, I'm going to put more pressure into that quad. Once I establish a nice depth, I'm going to extend the knee as I push. Oh, God. Until you fully extend, and then you just sink into that son of a gun. You want to get to the point where you start pulsing. That's when in my opinion, that is when I notice the most release, hydration, and transformation occur. So now I'm going to go the IT. Why is my right side so much worse? We're going to go a little bit longer, 4 minutes or 3 minutes or so. The IT band, I can't even move it. Sometimes you can't move it. That's fine. Just hold the place and just maintain that 7 to 8 out of 10 pain. I will say one time, did my IT band like this for 20 minutes each side. One day, just my entire IT band quad, lateral quad. And I kid you not, I got violently sick within an hour. Violently sick, like flu-like symptoms. Diarrhea, throwing up. You release a lot of acid when you do this. And that can be a good thing, that can be a bad thing sometimes too if you don't have any binding agents, fats, clays, and stuff like that to soak up these metabolic waste products that are being released and having to be, dumped through the body. Oh, I just bent my knee, flexed my knee. I'm pressing into it as much as I can. And now I'm going to extend it. I'm trying to submit this son of a gun. This IT band needs to be submitted. And again, you're going to feel the stress, guys. You're going to feel the emotional stress. How do you get rid of that? It's at the IT band. Then you feel the stress kind of come up here. It feels emotional. Pain, right? Like any pain. You got to go back to your breathing. Go back to your breathing. Breathe through the nose slowly. Expand the ribs. I'm not moving on this right side because you'll find some spots where you can just hold it for 5 to 10 minutes. I'm not even kidding. That's when you know you're on some good spots. When you find those spots, again, small, tiny micro movements. Don't move away from it. Don't move too fast. Very slow, small movements. And that's like your little mini micro massages. You're just trying to get those tiny different angles that make the world of difference. And then you can do those small micro movements with the knee flexion. I'm going to be done. I'm cutting it early, but you can pause the video. Again, go a little bit longer, preferably 10 minutes each side because there's a lot of real estate we're working with. Again, the rectus femoris, the middle, the vastus medialis, the inner, the adductor complex, the vastus lateralis, and the IT band. That was gnarly, guys. That is my favorite muscle to hit. I actually remember Naudi Aguilar from Functional Patterns stating that the femurs themselves seem to influence the rest of the body as a whole more than any other part of the body. So that being said, trigger pointing your femurs is pretty much top priority. So the quad 45, the entire quad, the lower quad especially, the groin, the hamstrings, the IT band, all of it, the hips, TFL, glutes even, all of that needs to be rehydrated and it needs some deep, deep tissue therapy release. So with trigger pointing, again, you can go download our free guide, but I would just recommend starting with at least 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day, working up to 30 minutes a day. The more you do it, the less you'll have to do, and the more intense you go, the less time you'll need. All right, guys, hope you enjoy this video. I'll see you tomorrow for another trigger point session or workout. Depends what I feel like doing. If you got any requests, let us know. If you have a friend that has knee pain or something like that, share this video with them. Oh, by the way, we got these awesome cashmere wool beanies. If you want to pick one up, I think we only got like 20 left in stock. Just let us know, and we'll get you squared away. All right, God bless. Peace.